Claiming Social Security at 62 can cut your check by almost a third, for life. And yet, for some people, it's still the smart move. I'll show you the real numbers from Social Security so you can tell which one you are. You've heard both sides yelling. One crowd says grab it the day you turn 62, before the money's gone. The other says wait till 70, no exceptions. And there you are at the kitchen table, statement in front of you, trying to work out who's actually right for your life. The difference comes down to 4 things nobody printed on the brochure. There's also a trap that can pull money back out of your check after you've already filed. We'll get to that one. This is a decision our parents mostly didn't have to make. They got a pension. A check that just showed up, same amount, every month for the rest of their lives. Our generation got handed a 401k and a claiming choice instead. And nobody sat us down to explain it. So that's what I want to do here. No sales pitch, no scare tactics. Just how the math actually works and how to find the right age for you. Start with one term, because everything hangs on it. Full retirement age. That's the age Social Security treats as your baseline, where you collect 100% of what you earned. People shorten it to FRA. If you were born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. That's straight from Social Security's own charts for 2026. Here's the lever. You can start as early as 62 or as late as 70, and where you start changes the size of that check forever. Claim at 62 with a full retirement age of 67, and your benefit drops by 30%. Permanently. That isn't money you pay back later. That's your number for the rest of your life. Wait past full retirement age, and it runs the other way. For every year you hold off between 67 and 70, Social Security adds about 8%. Hold out all the way to 70, and you're collecting 24% more than your full amount. Those are called delayed retirement credits, and they stop cold at 70. No reason to wait a single day past it. So picture 3 doors. Door 62 pays 70% of your full check. Door 67 pays 100%. Door 70 pays 124%. Same person, same work record, 3 very different monthly numbers, and the door you pick locks behind you. If you were born before 1960, your full retirement age is a touch younger, and your cut at 62 is a little smaller, closer to 25%. The shape is identical. Earlier means smaller, forever. Let me put real dollars on it, because percentages slide right off. Say your full retirement age check would be $2,000 a month. Claim at 62 instead, and that 30% cut drops you to $1,400. That's $600 less every single month. Run it across a year, and it's $7,200 you don't collect. Now, the early check starts 5 years sooner, so you're not simply throwing that money away. You're trading a bigger check later for a smaller check now across more years. Whether that's a smart trade depends on how long you expect to need it. That's where the 4 levers come in. First, the trap I promised you. If you claim at 62 and you're still working, Social Security can hold back part of your check. They call it the earnings test. For 2026, if you're under full retirement age the whole year, you can earn up to $24,480. Go a dollar over, and they hold back a dollar for every 2 you make above that line. That figure is straight from Social Security for 2026. Here's the part that stings. Folks file at 62, keep the part-time job they actually enjoy, and watch their benefits shrink with no idea why. You do get that money back later, in slightly larger checks once you reach full retirement age, so it isn't gone for good. But if your whole plan was a paycheck and a benefit at the same time, the earnings test can blow a hole right through it. If you're still working, this one decides the question by itself. So, the honest case for taking it at 62. 3 situations where it holds up. 1. Your health or your family history points to a shorter runway. The break-even age between claiming at 62 and waiting until 70 lands somewhere around 80, give or take, depending on the cost of living raises along the way. Live well past 80, and waiting wins. If the men in your family didn't, or you're managing a serious condition, the math leans the other way. Taking it at 62 puts the money in the years you're healthy enough to use it. 2. You retired straight into a bad market. If your savings are falling and you'd have to sell investments at the bottom just to pay the bills, an early Social Security check takes the pressure off. Every dollar it covers is a dollar you leave invested instead of selling at a loss. That breathing room can save a retirement. 3. You're the lower earner in a married couple. There's a move where the lower earner files early to bring income in the door, while the higher earner holds out. And the second half of that is the piece almost nobody explains. Here's why the higher earner weighting matters so much. Your check isn't only yours. When one spouse passes, the survivor keeps the larger of the two benefits, not both of them. So every year, the higher earner weights, growing that check toward the 124%, they're also building the income the surviving spouse will live on, maybe for 10 or 15 years. That's the survivor benefit. And the grab-it-early crowd almost never brings it up. For most married couples, the higher earner weighting while the lower earner claims earlier is the combination that protects the household best. That's a pattern, not a rule for everyone. Check it against your own numbers. All right, here's exactly what to do this week before you decide a thing. 1. Pull your own numbers. Go to ssa.gov and log into your My Social Security account. It's free, it takes about 10 minutes to set up, and it shows your actual benefit at 62, at full retirement age, and at 70. Not an estimate off a chart. Your numbers. Write down all three. 2. Run your break-even. Take the gap between your 62 check and your 70 check and work out roughly how many years past 80 you'd have to live for waiting to pull ahead. You don't need software. The numbers from step 1 in the back of an envelope will get you close enough to see which way you lean. 3. If you're still working, measure yourself against the earnings limit. Write down what you expect to earn this year and hold it up against that $24,480 line for 2026. If you're over it, claiming at 62 while you work can cost you more than it pays. Sometimes the cleanest answer is to wait until you've stopped working, or until you hit full retirement age, when that limit disappears entirely. 4. If you're married, sit down together and look at the survivor benefit on purpose. Decide which of you files when and why. This is one coffee and paper conversation that can be worth tens of thousands of dollars over the years, and it's the one couple skip the most. And if you want a second set of eyes, talk to a fee-only fiduciary advisor. Fee-only means they're paid by you, not by selling you a product. Fiduciary means they're legally required to put your interests first. Ask for both of those words out loud before you hire anyone. You can also call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 to confirm your figures, though they'll explain the rules rather than tell you when to claim. Quick recap so you don't have to rewind. Pull your three numbers at ssa.gov. Run your break-even against age 80. Check the $24,480 earnings limit if you're working. And if you're married, plan the survivor benefit together. If this cleared even a little of the fog, hit subscribe because making the confusing parts of later life make sense is the whole point of this channel. And tap like if this claiming decision has been sitting on your kitchen table too long. So here's the straight talk. There's no single right age that fits everybody, no matter how loudly anyone online insists there is. There's only the right age for your health, your savings, your marriage, and your work. And now you know the 4 levers that decide it. This is education, not advice, so confirm your own numbers before you sign anything. Don't let anyone rush you, and don't let that statement sit there unopened either. You've handled harder calls than this one. That's Gus. Honest answers for the years nobody hands you a manual for.